Chelsea Marie, and today we're going to be making some homemade magic. We're going to be making pizza. So let me take you guys through what I have going on my table. Don't get discouraged by how many items you see on here. You have everything at home. If not, I'm going to talk you through some substitutes. So let's start. Equipment wise, you're going to need a rolling pin. If you don't have one, a glass bottle will work great. I have a spoon, a measuring cup, I have some bowls. One bowl is greased already. I have a sifter, and I have some baking trays. Ingredient wise, we're going to be using Maggi Nutrissimo. We have some salt, we have some dry yeast, some oil, sugar, ketchup, tomato paste. If you don't have these items, you can use pasta sauce, that works great too. I have some shredded cheese here. Any cheese you have on hand is great. Mozzarella, cheddar, anything is fine. Parmesan is cool too. I have some flour measured out. I also have a little extra flour here for dusting. You'll see how I use that later on. Alright, so let's get cooking. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our dough. So the first thing we're going to do for the dough is we're going to get our sifter over a clean bowl. And I have my flour measured out here already. Do check out the recipe. It is on NestleRecipesCaribbean.com. And I am going to try my ever so best to sift this as neatly as I can and not make a mess, because you guys know, oh, I started already making a mess. So I'm going to sift this. This just takes all our lumps out of our flour. I did wipe my table before we started, so I am going to use all of that floury goodness that is now outside of my bowl as well. So I'm just going to soup this back into this bowl. I have about 1.5 teaspoons of sugar that I'm going to put into here. My water, and I'm going to add my vegetable oil. And my salt. Alright, so that's the base for the dough, the dry ingredients. Now for the wet ingredients. I have about a cup here of warm water, and to that I'm going to add my yeast. Okay, I'm going to give that a quick mix. And I'm going to give that about 1.5 minutes or a minute or so to start to activate. In the meantime, I am going to mix my ketchup and tomato paste. This is for my sauce now. So I have some ketchup here. I'm going to mix that with some tomato paste. And I'm going to mix about 2 teaspoons of Maggi Nutrissimo into this sauce. And the good thing with this Nutrissimo is that it has everything in it already. Garlic, onion, fresh herbs, everything. So it's a really complete seasoning, which is very perfect for what we want, because you know we like easy peasy ingredients. Alright, so I'm going to give that a quick mix. Alright, so that's looking awesome. Cool. A friend of mine says you're not Caribbean unless you knock your spoon on your bowl 3 times. So, we're good there. So I want you guys to zoom in a little bit here and take a look at this yeast. You can see how it's kind of foaming up at the top. That's how you know your yeast is ready to go. So I'm going to dump this into my flour, sugar, salt, oil mixture. And then I'm going to use these good old bad boys, my hands, and start to give this a mix. You see? More mess again. I think that's like my signature around here. Alright, so I'm going to just slowly start to incorporate that. Starting to use a little bit of elbow grease. Alright, so I am noticing that my dough is a bit stiff, so I'm just going to grab a little bit more water. I'm going to turn this out so you guys can really see what's happening over here. It's all stuck to my fingers. Alright, cool. I'm just going to get a little bit more water because I find my dough is quite stiff. When your dough is stiff like this, you only want to add about 1 tablespoon of water at a time. So to that, I'm going to start to mix, and I'm going to kind of just feel it out here. Okay, it's still quite stiff, so I'm going to add a little tablespoon more. So it's really important that you work with a clean, flat surface. because you don't want to be picking up any extra ingredients while you roll this dough. So, when would you make pizza? It's the weekend, and I think it's a great time to make pizza because it's yummy, it's fast, you know, it's easy. No muss, no fuss. Everybody can kind of get in on the action and add what toppings they like. I'm going ahead and adding 1 more tablespoon of water, and I think I should be okay there. So if you did start your dough and you found it was a bit sticky, you would do the opposite. So you wouldn't be adding water, you would be adding a tablespoon of flour at a time. So that extra flour that I brought, I don't even think I'm going to need it because, like I said, my dough was pretty stiff to start. It's a little sticky right now, but I know once it gets full, the water gets a little incorporated, it will come together really nicely. I don't know if you're seeing the action I'm doing. I'm kind of rolling it, folding it on itself, and pushing it out. Folding it, pushing, folding, push, fold, push. Alright, my dough is softening up. It's finally getting to somewhat the texture that I want it to be. I just have to knead it a little bit longer. You should knead yours for about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, great. So my dough has finally come together. I want you guys to come in to really see how smooth and nice my dough is looking. So what you want is a really nice smooth top, and you want to be able to, it to spring back. It will spring back a little slowly, but you want it to spring back when you press it, which is what is happening right now. So that's perfect. And now I'm going to rest that into my greased bowl, and I'm going to cover this bad boy with a nice clean tea towel, and I'm gonna cheat and put mine outside in the sun, and I'm gonna let this rise till it doubles in size. Okay, great. So come and see how my pizza dough has risen. It's quite puffy and nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly dust my surface here, my table, and I'm going to flip this over onto my table. So I'm going to kind of start to press him out. I'm going to put a little bit of flour. You don't want to over flour your dough, and I'm going to roll this out. I'm going to make one giant pizza today, but this is great. So you would roll these out, and you can get some cookie cutters, and you could cut fun shapes. You could make them round, or if you have heart cookie cutters, you could do hearts with the kids. Anything you have is really good. Or you could cut that dough previously before I rolled it out into 2 and made 2 smaller pizzas. I'm just going to make one nice giant pizza because this is going to be awesome for movie night. Alright, so my dough is nice and even and thin. So now I'm going to just fold them over, and I am going to transfer this to this tray. Okay, look how perfect that is. Okay, so my pizza dough is nice and lined in my tray. So now I'm going to add my pizza sauce. Remember, this is my tomato paste, ketchup, and the Maggi Nutrissimo. And I really want to get all that sauce out of there because I'm a sauce lover. And I'm just going to take the back of my spoon, and I'm going to just spread that everywhere. I went ahead and preheated my oven to 400 degrees. It's nice and hot and ready for me. The good thing about pizza is, although it takes an hour to rise, it doesn't take long to bake. It takes about 15-20 minutes in the oven. So, alright, this is a really fun part I find, is that sometimes you could have even a pizza night at home with your family, and that everybody could kind of put their own toppings and customize their pizza to how they want it to be. But today, I'm just going to do some good old shredded cheese. I am very generous when I put cheese on pizza. Cheese and sauce for me are very important and shouldn't skimp there. Okay, so I have my cheese on, it's looking great. And toppings are optional, but I am a fan of pineapple on pizza. I know most people don't like it, but I love it. Please comment below and tell me if you like pineapple on pizza. I know everybody has this big debate about it, but I love it. So I'm gonna put some nice big chunks of pineapple on my pizza. And then I'm gonna top it with a little bit of fresh parsley. And I'm gonna pop this bad boy into the oven. So it goes into an oven at 400 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm actually gonna put this on the lowest rack in my oven so that the bottom can really bake and get a little bit of crunch. All right, see you guys when this is done. Okay, and our pizza is out of the oven. Look how good that looks. Seriously. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut myself a little piece. Yo, it smells good. And look at how juicy my pineapples are looking. Alright, so tag me if you guys try this recipe. Make sure to check us out on NestleRecipesCaribbean.com. And look at that. Oh yeah. So mine is a thinner style pizza. If you did want a thicker crust, don't roll it out. Roll it out to the thickness that you like. And give this pizza a go. I'm sure the whole family is going to enjoy this one. Alright guys, see you guys next time.